Senate will come to order. Mr. Schaffler, please call the roll.
Senators Amabile, Baisley, Ball, Bridges,
Excuse.
Bright, Carson, Catlin, Cutter, Danielson,
Excuse.
Doherty,
Excuse.
Exum, Frizzell,
Excuse.
Gonzalez,
Excuse.
Hendrickson, Judah, Kip, Kirkmeyer, Kolker, Liston, Lundin, Marchman,
Excused.
Michelson Janae, Mullica, Pelton B, Pelton R, Rich, Roberts, Rodriguez, Simpson, Snyder, Sullivan, Wallace, Weissman, Winter,
Excused.
Bridges, Doherty, Winter, Marchman.
Oh, she's
No? Oh,
sorry about that.
I got
Excused.
some weird stuff tonight, too. Mr. President,
Let's do this. The morning roll call is 31 present, 0 absent. For excuse, we have a quorum. Senator Mullica, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Mr. President, the Honorable Mr. President. Really appreciate this. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the journal. Senator Catlin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, to say welcome to everybody, I want you to watch Democracy in Action. I move that the Senate Journal of April 9th, 2025 be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
Oh, yes, democracy. You heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. But the ayes still have it. That motion is adopted. Senate Services.
correctly printed Senate Bill 286, 287, and 288, correctly revised House Bill 1116, 1210, and 1298, correctly re-revised House Bill 1285.
Committee reports.
Committee on Health and Human Services, after consideration on the merits, committee recommends the following. House Bill 1200 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with the recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Mr. President, the Committee on Transportation and Energy has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the Clean Transit Enterprise for terms expiring September 28, 2028. Kathleen Brack of Fort Collins, Colorado, to serve as a representative of a public advocacy group that is a transit or comprehensive transportation expertise appointed. Matt Frommer of Denver, Colorado, to serve as a representative with expertise in zero emissions transportation, motor vehicle fleets, or utilities reappointed. Don Block of La Junta, Colorado, to serve as a representative of transportation-focused organization that serves an environmental justice community reappointed. Committee on Transportation and Energy, after consideration on the merits, committee recommends the following. House Bill 1197 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Committee on Transportation and Energy, after consideration on the merits, committee recommends the following. House Bill 1228 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Committee on Transportation and Energy, after consideration on the merits, committee recommends the following. House Bill 1175 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Mr. President, the Committee on Transportation and Energy has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Member of the Public Utilities Commission, effective January 12, 2025, for a term expiring January 8, 2029. Eric Blank of Boulder, Colorado, a Democrat and continuing as chair, reappointed. Mr. President, the Committee on Transportation and Energy has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the Front Range Passenger Rail District Board for terms expiring December 31st, 2028. John Putnam of Boulder, Colorado, to serve as a representative of Transportation or Public Finance appointed. Jose Soto of Pueblo West, Colorado, to serve as a representative supporting a statewide employee organization, reappointed. Joshua Lapley of Lakewood, Colorado, to serve as a representative of the public, reappointed. Committee on Judiciary, after consideration on the merits, committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 134 be postponed indefinitely. Committee on Judiciary, after consideration on the merits, committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 116 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar.
Moments of personal privilege. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate proceed out of order to take up moments of personal privilege.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and we proceed out of order for moments of personal privilege. Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm here today because...
Moment of personal privilege.
I asked for a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you. I'm here today because I have a large group of people here, and you can see them sitting over here. They're the Mad Moms, and there's also some up there, and you can I'll give you $5. And also there is a crew here who are somewhere that I won't name, who are making a film about one of the person's loved one. And the Mad Moms is a group of parents of adult children who have serious mental illness. And I know almost all of these people just because we're in this boat together. And it is a boat that nobody wants to be in. And we are a group of broken and literally broke people who have been struggling for years and years to get our person the care that they need. And we have struck out over and over again. And you will, if you want, you can go and get, each person has a flyer, and it's about their person. And it will tell you how many times they went to jail, how many hospitalizations, how many different psych medications they have taken so far in their life. And it's pretty bleak. And we're just maybe 30 or 40 people here today, but there are hundreds, there are thousands of people in our situation in the state of Colorado. And it is a stain on our state that we aren't doing a better job of helping people into care and providing the kind of care that they need when they need it. And that sounds pretty bad. And so I want to talk about one thing that is happy, and that is there's a person here who contacted me, I think it was almost a year ago. His brother was doing great for like 10 years and then had a psychotic episode and ended up cycling in and out of short-term hospital stays and then finally in jail. And he was in jail in a solitary confinement cell, naked, staring at the wall, saying over and over again, "I'm a good person. I'm a good person." And 6 months in, he contacted me and the ACLU and some reporters and all of us together, and especially the brother, managed to get him a bed at the state hospital in Pueblo. And yesterday, he was moved from Pueblo into a transitional living home, which is something that was set up through a bill that I ran with a lot of support from members of this chamber and with my co-prime from Broomfield. And that's working. That's one piece that's actually working. And it made me cry this morning to know that this guy had managed to get his brother into this transitional living home. So we are making progress. And what we need, and the reason they're here, is to get all of you to believe that we have a big problem and that it is on us to fix it. There is no other way except for all of us to engage around this issue and help these parents get their person the care that they need. And so I'd love for us to acknowledge them and welcome them to the chamber.
Senator Michaelson-Jenet.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I have a moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
I'm standing up here in support of my colleague because I have a son who struggles, and you never know what the next day is going to bring. Thank God right now he's doing well because he's on his medicine. But if he's not on his medicine, he's not doing well. And these are people who have family members and loved ones who are sick, who are not criminals. And we have to stop treating them like criminals. My son was sent to the office every single day of elementary school, not because he was a bad kid, but because he had an illness. And these parents are paying the ultimate price right now. So we must learn from our colleague from Boulder, and we must work together to make sure that people who are ill get treatment, not jail. Thank you.
Thank you. And welcome to the Senate. Senator Catlin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd ask for a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, sir. Today's a special day. The town that I come from, Montrose, Colorado, has taken it upon themselves to take local citizens and put them through what they call Montrose University, which is our attempt to build our bench. We're trying to raise a new crop of leadership, and one of their graduation trip, I guess, is coming to the Capitol. So that today, Montrose U is in the Senate chambers with me as my guest. Would you please welcome the Montrose University people here in the Capitol? Thank you so very much.
Welcome to the Senate. Mr. Minority Leader.
Good morning, Mr. President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, it is Colorado Religious Freedom Day. I rise to you in the faith tradition of an evangelical Christian. Later today at 11 o'clock in the South Wing downstairs, you will have the opportunity to hear from our very own Senator Iman Judah, Greg Schaller from the Colorado Christian University, Jared Polis, the governor of Colorado, Roseanne Allen, President and CEO of the Racial Equity Institute for Excellence, the Attorney General, Phil Weiser, Gretchen Ryden, who's a representative from across the hall, and Dr. Mark Husbands, President of the Denver Seminary. We were blessed, I was blessed by the prayer from Carson Cranny earlier today, who offered her faith tradition from the LDS line. And I have a few remarks that I would like to offer and then a tribute with regard to Colorado Religious Freedom Day. I want to thank you, the organizers and the volunteers, for their continued efforts to honor and uphold religious freedom here in Colorado. Since 2019, you have faithfully gathered with others to lift up this principle, one that sits at the foundation of a free and civil society. Your service, your devotion, and your example are not just appreciated, they're essential. Colorado's state motto, Nil sine numine, nothing without providence, reminds us that our highest work does not begin or end in this chamber. A territorial assembly long ago saw fit to inscribe this truth as fundamental to our identity. They understood, as we must, that the hand of God stretches far beyond the hand of government. As legislators, we should never lose that perspective. Let's be clear, the work we do here is critically important, matters very much, but it pales in comparison to the work of human salvation, the quiet, consistent, and holy labor being carried out across Colorado by faith-filled people moved by love. We legislate, but they lift, they heal, they feed, they open the conversation to the divine who saves. I've often said that I trust the marketplace over government to solve problems, many times. Some of you would say too many times from this very well. But if given the choice between trusting government or trusting God, I'd choose God every time. That's not rhetoric, it's a recognition of reality. I've seen the faithful reach hearts and homes we will never touch through statute. What power shall stay the heavens, as one volume of scripture cherished by the Latter-day Saints puts it? As well might man stretch forth his puny arm to stop the Missouri River in its decreed course as to hinder the Almighty from pouring down knowledge from heaven. The work of God will roll on. May we be wise enough to align ourselves with it, and may we always recognize the indispensable role of religious freedom to ensure that people of all faith continue lifting our communities in ways no government ever could. Colleagues, the tribute that I offer reads as follows. The Senate of the Colorado Legislature, convened in the first regular session of the 75th General Assembly, hereby extends heartiest congratulations and commendation to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the faith organizations of Colorado. The members of the Colorado Senate are pleased to extend commendations to volunteers from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and other faith organizations in the state of Colorado for their work in building awareness and respect for the freedom of religion guaranteed in the United States Constitution. By hosting the annual Colorado Religious Freedom Day celebration, they bring together people of different backgrounds, beliefs, and persuasions in the common cause of honoring the rights of Americans to worship as they see fit. We pay tribute to their efforts to demonstrate their faith through community and service. On request of Senator Paul Lundeen, given this 10th day of April 2025, State Capitol, Denver, Colorado, and signed by His Eminence, the President, James Rashad Coleman. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you for thoroughly
Eminence,
embarrassing me in front of
Excellence,
this crowd.
you may pick your title, sir.
Thank you, sir. Senator Kirkmeyer,
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning. May I have a moment of personal privilege?
granted.
Thank you. Members, today is also Colorado Homeschool Day. And in honor of that, I have a couple of homeschoolers from my neck of the woods, from Senate District 23, who also happen to be related to me. They're my cousins. And one of them is sitting in my chair because I'm pretty sure he's going to be a state senator at some point, and he's coming down and trying it out. That's right. What? Anyways, I would just like to introduce them. Again, a couple of homeschoolers that are here in honor of and welcome them to our chamber. Gavin Bachman and Grayson Bachman, who is sitting on the sidelines with his parents. Thank you for being here today, and go homeschoolers.
Welcome to the Senate. Senator Michelson Janae.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I have a moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
Well, it's a busy day in the state Senate today. I have friends from the National Council of Jewish Women who are here for their Day on the Hill. This is something that happens every year, and the National Council of Jewish Women is a strong organization that has been doing its work since the early 1900s. I'm sorry, I don't know the date. I should know the date. And please, if they send in a card to you, please consider coming out and saying hello. Thank you.
Very good. Further moments of personal privilege. Seeing none. Consideration of resolutions. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate proceed out of order to take up consideration of resolutions.
The motion is to proceed out of order for the consideration of resolutions. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. We will proceed out of order. Mr. Schaffler, please add Senators Frizzell and Gonzalez to the roll. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate proceed out of order to take up Senate Joint Resolution 20.
The motion is to proceed out of order to take up SJR 25020. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. SJR 25. We will proceed out of order to hear SJR 25020. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of SJR 25020.
Senate Joint Resolution 020 by Senator Rich and Representative Taggart concerning recognition of Colorado Mesa University's 100-year anniversary.
Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I am pleased to carry this resolution on behalf of the Colorado Mesa University's 100th birthday. And with that, I move SJR 25020 and ask that it be read at length.
Mr. Schaffler, please read SJR 25020 at length.
Whereas the Grand Junction, Colorado community began work in the 1880s to create an institution of higher learning to serve Western Colorado students, and whereas a broad coalition of community leaders, including Senator Ollie Bannister, Representative C.J. McCormick of Mesa County, and Governor Clarence Morley, were successful in passing legislation creating Grand Junction Junior College in April 1925. And whereas over the decades, the name of Grand Junction's institution of higher learning has morphed from Grand Junction Junior College to Grand Junction State Junior College to Mesa College to Mesa State College to its current moniker, Colorado Mesa University, but the personalized focus on providing students with tangible skills to meet workforce needs has not changed. And whereas Colorado Mesa University is an institution unique to our state in that it delivers both career and technical 2-year, 4-year, and graduate degree programs, and whereas Colorado Mesa University is a major economic driver in Western Colorado with over $500 million in annual economic impact to the region, and whereas Colorado Mesa University is one of Colorado's fastest growing institutions of higher education, and whereas Colorado Mesa University is a beacon of opportunity to first-generation students from across the state, and whereas the history of Colorado Mesa University is replete with grit, determination, and a willingness to break from the pack, exemplified by its long-standing mascot, the Maverick, and whereas the state deeply values the unique role and mission and the long history of Colorado Mesa University and its ability to deliver high-quality academic programs at every level, and whereas 2025 marks Colorado Mesa University's 100-year anniversary of changing lives through the transformative power of education, now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the 75th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the members of the Colorado General Assembly, 1, recognize the countless achievements of students, faculty members, and community leaders over the past 100 years at Colorado Mesa University. 2, pay tribute to 100 years of Maverick pride across the state of Colorado and beyond. 3, toast the success of Colorado Mesa University and the entire Western Slope community for 100 years of impact. And 4, look forward to being part of the next century of success at Colorado Mesa University. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to the Colorado Mesa University Board of Trustees and members of the Colorado Mesa University Century Project Steering Committee.
Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. On the Colorado Mesa University's website, it starts off with, "Success starts with heart." And I love that because when I first moved to Grand Junction, and that was some 50-some years ago, Mesa was a junior college. And I have seen it progress and become such a successful university, and we are so proud in Mesa County in Grand Junction to have it in the heart of the city of Grand Junction. It is number 4 in Regional Colleges West and one of the fastest growing universities in Colorado. I have here with me today, and we don't have a lot of members here today because they're celebrating the birthday in the city of Grand Junction, but I am so happy to have one of the trustees of the Colorado Mesa University, Kasha McLeod, if you'll stand and welcome her to the Senate. And heads up, ladies, she was the first student body president for Mesa. And it's she graduated from there, and now she's a trustee. So I'm very happy to have her here. And thank you for that. And I believe the good senator from Montrose might have something.
Senator Catlin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm standing here in front of you today as a product of Mesa Junior College. To begin with, I graduated from Mesa Junior College. And then at 38 years old, I went back to Mesa State College and got my 4-year degree. And so I have graduated twice, and look what they've done for me. So if you know people that need education, Colorado Mesa is the place to send them. It is a tremendous university. They've done a great job on the Western Slope. They've given us a great opportunity to train and raise up our people there on the Western Slope. I'm very proud of them.
Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. I renew my motion for the passage of Senate Joint Resolution 25020.
Further discussion? Seeing none. The motion is the adoption of SJR 25020. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 2 excused, SJR 25020 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request the current roll call be added as sponsors.
Seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. Thank you. Congratulations. Welcome to the Senate. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of SJR 25017.
Senate Joint Resolution 017 by Senator Liston and Representative Puglisi concerning honoring Petty Officer First Class Daniel T. Griffin and in connection therewith designating the North Academy Bridge as the Naval Aviation Pilot and Aviation Machinist Mate Petty Officer First Class Daniel T. Griffin Bridge.
Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move resolution number 17 honoring Daniel T. Griffin and ask that it be read at length.
Mr. Schaffler, please read SJR 25017 at length.
Whereas Petty Officer First Class Daniel T. Griffin was a resident of Colorado Springs, attending Colorado Springs High School prior to his enlistment in the United States Navy, and served as a naval enlisted pilot assigned at Kaneohe Naval Air Station, Hawaii in 1941, flying the consolidated PBY Catalina. And whereas on the morning of Sunday, December 7th, 1941, Daniel T. Griffin was on duty with his PBY Catalina aircraft, and upon recognition of the ongoing Japanese attack, he attempted to take off but was shot down by an enemy aircraft. After making an emergency exit into the water and while swimming to shore, Griffin was fatally wounded by enemy gunfire. And whereas Petty Officer First Class Daniel T. Griffin is known to be the first Coloradan killed and believed to be the first American serviceman killed during the attack on Pearl Harbor, and whereas shortly after Griffin's death, Admiral Chester Nimitz, Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet, issued a citation recognizing Griffin's valor. In 1943, the United States Navy commissioned the USS Daniel T. Griffin, a destroyer escort, in recognition of Griffin's sacrifice. And whereas Griffin's body was moved from its original burial location in Hawaii and reinterred in Evergreen Cemetery, Colorado Springs, Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the 75th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, 1, that the North Academy Bridge spanning Interstate 25 in Colorado Springs be designated as the Naval Aviation Pilot and Aviation Machinist Mate Petty Officer First Class Daniel T. Griffin Bridge. And 2, that the Colorado Department of Transportation may explore a cooperative agreement with the Colorado Springs City Council for the maintenance of the signs marking the Naval Aviation Pilot and Aviation Machinist Mate Petty Officer First Class Daniel T. Griffin Bridge. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to the Colorado Springs City Council, the Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Transportation, Shoshana Liu, and the Transportation Commission of Colorado.
Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President and members of the Senate, it is both my honor and that of Senator Snyder to present this resolution recognizing the service and sacrifice of Petty Officer First Class Daniel T. Griffin, who gave his life early in the morning on December 7th, 1941. Remarkably, this was even before the United States had officially entered World War II. Research into history of the attack of Pearl Harbor reveals that Petty Officer Griffin was the first American casualty of what would become World War II for the United States. As a student of history and someone who has long studied World War II, I was especially intrigued to learn about Petty Officer Griffin. He was a pilot of the consolidated PBY Catalina, also known as the Flying Boat. Some of you may recall that my own father was a pilot during World War II as well, and he too flew the PBY Catalina up and down the California coast immediately following the attack on Pearl Harbor. So I could readily identify with Daniel Griffin, the pilot. And coincidentally, for any of you who might have an interest, in Colorado Springs, we have the World War II Aviation Museum, which I would heartily recommend to you. And there, down there in the museum, is a fully operational Catalina PBY aircraft that actually flies from time to time. It's a unique coincidence that Daniel Griffin was from Colorado Springs and graduated from Colorado Springs High School, which is now known as Palmer High School. Most people might have never known or imagined who the first American casualty of World War II was, but how fitting that it would be someone from Colorado Springs, Petty Officer Daniel T. Griffin. Well, while Petty Officer Griffin is remembered as the first American who gave his life in World War II, he represents so many more. In each of your hometowns, where your parents, your grandparents, and your relatives lived, over 450,000 Americans made the ultimate sacrifice to defend and protect the freedoms we cherish today. So while this resolution is to honor Daniel T. Griffin, his sacrifice is emblematic of the men and women throughout America who fought for our country. Every one of you and in your communities has a Chief Petty Officer, Daniel T. Griffin, who fought for our country. So look around, because every one of us has somebody like this in our communities. So God bless Petty Officer Griffin and the men and women who died for our country in World War II.
Senator Snyder.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Liston. Folks, members, we have a few distinguished guests here from Colorado Springs. So I'd like to recognize them if they would stand up when I call their name. So Chris Schutzenberger from the Navy League of the United States Denver Council, Legislative Affairs Vice President. President Randy Helms of the Colorado Springs City Council. Captain Greg Thomas, Doherty Navy Junior ROTC. Welling Clark, U.S. Navy veteran representing various veterans organizations in the Pikes Peak region. And of course, Sally Clark, advisor to Mayor Yemi Mobilade. I'm still working on that name, but thank you all for being here. And if y'all could just recognize them, we very much appreciate it.
Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I renew my motion, our motion, for the passage of Resolution 17 honoring Daniel T. Griffin.
Senator Liston, Senator Snyder, it looks like there's one more individual. Not sure if Thank you all for being here.
Oh, my bad.
Normally out of order, but I just want to make sure we recognize you, so I will pay the fine of $1. All right.
I'll pay it.
The motion is the adoption of SJR 25017. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused, SJR 25017 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I ask that the current roll call be adopted as co-sponsors.
Seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Senator Liston.
One last thing, members, in case you can't see it, there will be a bridge, the North Academy and I-25 bridge will be dedicated to, and if you can't see the sign, this is what the sign will look like. So that will be sometime in June or July. If anybody is interested, be sure and let me know, and we'd love to have you attend. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, members, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you.
We all look forward to the field trip to see Senator Liston and the bridge, and thank you for Senator Pelton R. for paying my fine. I have another fine if you wouldn't mind paying that as well. It's $1. All right. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of SJR 25019.
Senate Joint Resolution 019 by Senator Pelton R. and Representative Winter concerning recognizing April 10, 2025 as Home Education Day in Colorado.
Senator Pelton R.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Joint Resolution 25019 and ask to be read at length.
Mr. Schaffler, please read SJR 25019 at length.
Whereas Colorado law affirms that it is the primary right and obligation of parents to choose the proper education and training for children under their care and supervision, and that home-based education is a legitimate alternative to classroom attendance for the instruction of children, and whereas home education is part of America's national heritage, as evidenced in the formative years of home-educated Americans such as George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Quincy Adams, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Abigail Adams, Patrick Henry, John J. Booker T. Washington, Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Mark Twain, and Ansel Adams. And whereas the growing research on adults who were home educated indicates that they internalize the values and beliefs of their parents at a high rate, and whereas home educated students score above average on achievement tests regardless of their parents' level of formal education or their family's household income, and whereas the over 3 million children who are home educated in the United States today save American taxpayers an estimated $51 billion annually, and whereas parents who have home educated their children are to be commended for their extraordinary sacrifice and commitment that have produced millions of home educated graduates who are equipped to be successful and productive citizens because of the values, education, and training that they have received from their parents. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the 75th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the members of the Colorado General Assembly, honor, thank, and celebrate home educators and their home educated children of the state and recognize April 10, 2025 as Home Education Day in Colorado.
Senator Pelton R.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today's a very special day for myself. My wife and I homeschooled our daughters, and I am now a homeschool grandpa. My youngest daughter is homeschooling her kids, and so I always look forward to bringing this resolution every year. The gallery was clear full of homeschoolers. They had other things they had to go do, but there's still several in the gallery. There's 5 homeschool students on the floor here. If you guys get a chance and come across one out in the hallway, stop, talk to them, ask them about their experience being home educated. You know, all of our kids will be exposed to the world, but home educators have a special place in their heart for their kids. They want to give them their values to be able to take on the world when they're confronted with that. So with that, I renew my motion to approve Senate Joint Resolution 019.
Very good. There is further discussion. Members, I want to remind you that we're not allowed to recognize individuals in the gallery, and for that, I will not only charge Senator Pelton R. $1, I will also pay his fine back. So we're just going to keep paying each other's fines for $1. Mr. Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I rise in support of the resolution. Colleagues, Education is an interesting and important thing. It's, I believe, it is the priority of state government. We should be funding and making sure that our K-12 system functions well and does the job well. What has happened over the last decade is we've seen declining enrollment across most aspects of education. K-12 public education generally has declining enrollment. Even charter schools, although they are growing as a percentage of public education, their enrollment is declining slightly. Parochial schools and private schools have a small amount of declining enrollment as well, based on demographic trends. The one place in education where the enrollment as a percentage of the population continues to grow is homeschooling. And so I call that out to you as a matter that is worth the attention of policymakers. We here represent the people. We seek to represent the people, and the people are guiding us. They're guiding us by how they vote, not only at the ballot box, but with their feet in matters of commerce and with their feet in matters of public education and private education. So I think it's very important that we acknowledge and understand and pay attention to the trends that the people whom we represent are laying down before us. I rise in support of this resolution, and I'm glad that we're talking about it.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the adoption of SJR 25019. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, SJR 25019 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Pelton R.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the current roll call be added as co-sponsors to 019.
Seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Special order, second reading of the bills, Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over special order second reading of bills until tomorrow, Friday, April the 11th.
The motion is to lay over special order second reading of bills counted Friday, April 11, 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The special order second reading of the bills counted will lay over until Friday, April 11, 2025. Members, we will take a brief recess to acknowledge all the guests from resolutions as well as moments of personal privilege. The Senate will come back to order. Members, we are on third reading, consent calendar. Members, third reading consent calendar. Mr. Schaffler, please read all the titles of the bills on the consent calendar.
House Bill 1210 by Representatives Garcia, Sander, and Lukens, and Senators Pelton B. and Marchman concerning data reporting requirements for K-12 schools. House Bill 1298 by Representatives Carter and Richardson, and Senators Exum and Michelson Janae concerning judicial performance commissions. House Bill 1116 by Representatives Armagost and Bacon and Senators Pelton R. and Ball concerning requiring the Department of Corrections to search for information related to an offender's court appearances.
Majority Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of all the bills on third reading of bills, final passage consent calendar, which are House Bill 1210, House Bill 1298, and House Bill 1116.
Any discussion on any of the bills? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of all the bills on third reading of bills consent calendar. Are there any no votes? Starting with House Bill 1210. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Bill 1210 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Kipp, Judah, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Bill 1298 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Frizzell, Weissman, Carson, Judah, Snyder, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Bill 1116 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Roberts, Mullica. Co-sponsors for 1116, Carson, Gonzalez, Judah, Weissman, Wallace, Kipp, Amabile, Exum, Frizzell, Catlin. Mr. Minority Leader. Second reading of the bills. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over General Order second reading of bills until Monday, April the 14th.
The motion is lay over General Order second reading of bills calendar to Monday, April the 14th. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. General Order second reading of bills calendar will lay over until Monday, April the 14th. Consideration of conference committee reports. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title of House Bill 1056.
House Bill 1056 by Representatives Lukens and Bacon and Senators Roberts and Hendrickson concerning local government permitting of wireless telecommunication facilities.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate adopt the first report of the first conference committee on House Bill 1056.
Tell us why. Tell us why.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So in our conference committee, which happened yesterday, we adopted an amendment to the tolling language that was inserted here on the Senate floor. We are still keeping that tolling language to allow local governments to toll these wireless infrastructure applications. We just put a few guardrails around them to make sure that it didn't get out of hand and that we were still honoring the intent of the bill, which is to get our constituents better cell phone coverage. So with that, I believe most of the stakeholders who were in opposition or had concerns are now in a good place on the bill, and the conference committee report was adopted unanimously.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion for the adoption of the first report for the first conference committee on House Bill 1056. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, the first report of the first conference committee on House Bill 1056 is adopted. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1056.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is for the repassage of House Bill 1056. Are there any no votes? Senators Frizzell, Baisley, Pelton R., Winter. With a vote of 29 ayes, 4 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Bill 1056 is repassed. Co-sponsors. Committee reports.
Committee on Judiciary, after consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1031 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole. Favorable recommendation, and with the recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar.
Message from the House.
The House is adopted and transmits herewith House Joint Resolution 1024.
Announcements. Senator Kipp.
Thank you, members of the Senate Finance Committee. We are unusually, remember this, so we are going to meet today. I just want to make that a point of that because we don't usually meet upon adjournment, but today is special. We are going to meet upon adjournment, 15 minutes upon adjournment in SCR 3570 here, 25 to 74. I look forward to seeing y'all there.
Very good. Senator Malika.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Honorable Mr. President, appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Members, Senate Health and Human Services will be meeting at 1:30. We do have confirmations. We have a number of bills. Senate Bill 198 will not be heard today in committee, though, and so look forward to seeing you there in the old Supreme Court.
Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Local Government Housing will be meeting at 1:30 in room 357, and we will hear the bills in this order. House Bill 1108, House Bill 1272, House Bill 1219, and House Bill 1208. 1:30.
Very good. Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President, for letting me jump the line. Appropriations will be meeting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. across the street, and we are going to be hearing a number of bills. Look forward to seeing you there.
Senator Weissman.
Thanks, Mr. President. State Affairs Committee will meet this morning at 10:30 to hear 3 bills, 279, 275, 282 in SCR 352, our usual room. A little bit of a delayed start. We have some sponsor timing issues vis-a-vis another committee, so we're going to let the other committee get started. We'll start just a bit later at 10:30.
Senator Henriksen.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Business, Labor, and Technology Committee will be meeting at 11:15 at the Old Supreme Court for consideration of Senate Bill 271, Senate Bill 277, and House Bill 1080.
Very good. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee is meeting today at 1:30 and 352. We have House Bill 1283, House Bill 1180, and finishing with Senate Bill 283.
Very good. Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I've checked with the Majority Leader and the Minority Leader, and I asked to be excused on Monday, April the 14th. I have a little eye surgery. Thank you.
You got it. Further announcements. Majority Leader Rodriguez, the greatest Majority Leader of all time.
In the chamber today. Thank you, Mr. President. Members, we're going to recess to read bills across the desk. Later today, no need to return. With that, I move we recess until 11 a.m. today.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, except for one no vote, and the Senate will recess until 11 a.m. today.